All right, guys, welcome to tonight's Team Boom call. I am Annie. If you haven't met before, I'm one of the co-founders of Team Boom. I know that there's a lot of different teams and a lot of different groups that you might be in the coaches group. So just want to always introduce myself. And I'm going to kick it off tonight by just doing some recognition and then kind of sharing what's going on for April. You guys should have gotten the newsletter, but we'll go over that, some of like housewarming stuff. And if you're on, you can just hit mute. That'd be great. Thanks. And then we're going to have some of our Team Boom leaders share some of their tips. All right. So for Success Club, which we like to call the Changing Lives Club, basically Success Club is anyone that you are helping with the business or they're joining your challenge group. So if you're striving for Success Club, that means that you are continuously helping new people every single month, whether it's with the business opportunity or with the challenge groups. So it's amazing to, I don't know if you guys, I'm just going to share my screen here because I think this is pretty awesome. This is all the people that have hit Success Club 5, and I'm going to read off those who have helped Success Club 10, which is helping more than 5 people this month. So Sarah Olinsky, Sarah Marshall, Nicole Hansen, Meg Etsy, Marililla Hurst, Laura Beckhill, Kayla Kretschmer, Jenna Skavinsky, Skevington, Chris Bachlet, Ashley Brown, Allison Skvirts, Kristen, so this is with 11, Kirsten Strapp, Carrie Smith, Andrea Wallace, with 12, Susan Bell, Jakin Heitzfeld, Alyssa Kane, Allie Pendvich, with 13, Priscilla Perry, Jill Wagner, Lori Koshner, with 16, Trip Knowles, Kelly Marks, with 17, Leah Hall, with 17, Amy Morgan, with 19, Emily Crowshore, with 29, Amy Reelman, and with 51 Success Club points, Carolyn Nathan. And I love that Carolyn actually just posted in the Boom Fam, which is, we have a group called the Boom Fam, which is for Emerald coaches and above. And she posted where her Success Club points came from, based on where she met them and how long she's met them. So it's kind of a cool breakdown. So if you're in there, you can go in and check that out. So awesome job to everybody that has hit Success Club 5 and 10. And we are not done. We still have 2 days left, today and tomorrow. So you still have time to hit Success Club 5. There's plenty of time even if you're at 2. I know people that will hit Success Club 5 in a day. Just make sure that you're doing your follow-ups because those really do work. So the 22 hardcore is still on sale for $140. And then I was just going to go over quickly what's ahead for April. So the April Insider is an email that all of you guys should have gotten, and there are 6 challenge packs for the month of April, which is pretty awesome. So the Master Hammer and Chisel with Shakeology challenge pack is $160. The Hammer and Chisel with the Performance challenge pack. The club membership with Shakeology is $140. This is a new one that they're doing, is the club with the Club Kickstart Challenge, Shakeology, and the Plus Portion Fix containers, which is kind of cool. So I heard some people say that they might do like an on-demand challenge group where people get that and then they have access to the on-demand. On-demand is awesome if you guys don't have it. I haven't used a DVD in like over a year since I've gotten on-demand. You can get on-demand on your smartphone, on your computer, anywhere. Some other things. So they always have prizes. So Success Club, you get a Shakeology apron. And they also you get a fast pass to the Summit Core, which is a huge, their core is like this insane, huge, all the Beachbody apparel and fitness programs. And it's like absolutely amazing. And the line is usually out the door. at Summit, so you get a fast pass to that. They just, which I think our team does like an amazing job at, they just did the 4th vital. So obviously it's invite, personal development, and be a product of the product. And then the 4th vital skill is recognition. So I know our team does an insane job of this, of recognizing their team, no matter like how small, or even if it's a new coach and they like posted on their wall for the first time, or they did their first invite. Like, it doesn't matter what the recognition is. You should be encouraging your coaches and giving people a shout out. So they made that the 4th vital skill. The Ultimate Reset is on sale in April. So there's different kits. The challenge pack is now $275, which is the Ultimate Reset program with a month's supply of Shakeology. So if you haven't done the Ultimate Reset, there's so many people on our team that have. It's probably my favorite program. It's a clean eating program. So it's basically like cleaning your insides out, and you can get dramatic results with it. So they always have this on sale, usually like twice a year. So it's just kind of cool to have right before the summer. Let's Get Mobile. So they have the Beachbody On Demand app. So you can download 7 workouts offline mode, which is kind of cool. So if you don't have internet or cellular connection, you can still access your workouts at any time. And then just a heads up, if you guys should have gotten this email, but these are some of the important dates in April. So April 2nd is Super Saturday, which is, it's either Super Saturday or sometimes people have Sunday. They're a live event all across the country. You can find a location right near you. It's pretty awesome. You don't have to have like anyone on your team. You can just go and meet up with local coaches from different teams. The Summit app is being released. And then April 22nd, your hotel rooms for Summit will be charged. So make sure that you guys are in the group and you have like your roommates and you're getting that, because pretty soon Summit is going to be coming up. So you should just be talking to people. Summit this year is completely sold out, and it's, look, some of the coaches might talk about Summit tonight, but it is like the best event you can get to. And it's hands down like non-negotiable if you're serious about this business. It's awesome. So that is pretty much some housekeeping to kick off your April pretty strong. You will hear a lot more about those programs, products at Super Saturdays. Okay, so we are going to start. I asked some of the diamonds to share some of their latest tips, like what they're doing right now, ending the month strong. And I'm going to kick it off with Terry Bachlet. She's on the call. So Terry's a 3-star diamond. Are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, cool. And she just happens to also be my aunt.
Aunt Terry, yes.
Aunt Terry.
Hi, everybody. So I guess I'll give you a quick little bit about me, background. I signed up as a coach for the second time a little over 2 years ago. And then I did it because I just wanted to get back into the coaching, but I didn't start to become a leader until January 2015. So a little over a year ago, I told my sister Beth, I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to become a leader January 2015. So I took a group of my team that kind of had been left because one of the coaches couldn't lead anymore, and she had left didn't leave, but she's not with us right now. And I said, I'm going to start there, and just trying to follow everybody I had met at, all the different programs, and just trying to figure out how this whole thing worked. How do you become a leader? What do you do? What do you do? So in this past year, we've got a nice group of people on my team. I'm very excited. I believe in all of them, just like all of you on the screen. Anybody here can do this business. So everybody in my group, I look at them and it's like, if they do what, you're supposed to do, the 3 vitals, and commit, you can be successful. The question is, who's going to do that, and how good of a leader are you? Are you learning and growing so that you can teach them and have this duplicatable system? And so we had a great year. We've been progressing. And then I was really excited in January of this year because I was like, we're doing great. But I just, pretty much looked at this last quarter, and everybody is learning about week volume, and, you look at your week volume, how you're doing. And I noticed my week volume has stayed the same for the last 3 months. So I was like, okay, I got to look at this. What's going on? What are we missing? What am I missing as a leader? So I decided, for the month of March, I felt that it was a couple of things. I felt that I had some coaches that really were going for it. You look at it, it's Success Club. Are they doing the 3 vitals? Are you inviting every day? Are you doing the workouts? Are you reading personal development? Those coaches that are doing that are hitting Success Club 5 and 10. I believe in them. They are moving forward. They're becoming diamonds. They're becoming team leaders, and it's very exciting. I have other coaches that totally believe they're never going to quit, but they're missing one of those 3 vitals. And when you miss one of those 3 vitals, your business doesn't move forward. It's just the way it is. So I have some coaches that are awesome about doing their personal development and workouts, but they're not inviting. Or I have people that are inviting, but they don't do personal development, so they're not inviting a lot. They're doing a little bit here and there. Without the personal development, there's no way to become a leader. And when I say a leader, you start with yourself, and then you start with the first person that you put into your challenge group. And you're leading them because you want them to be successful. It doesn't mean you have to be all of a sudden a great leader. It's just like doing little steps so that you grow and become a leader. And without doing those 3 vitals, that's what I found. So I went back to our group. I have a couple of coaches on my team. Emily, my daughter-in-law, and my son Chris, we're realizing that, okay, what do we need to do? We need to do our training, a better job with that, and reaching out with our coaches. And if you listen to the national call on Monday, it was pretty cool because I think what she was pretty much saying is, why does she have 15 diamond coaches? She's reaching out every week or sometimes every day to those coaches who are really ready to move forward and giving them that time. We have to have a good system. So that was one thing we decided to work on this month. And so what we did is we're changing our training a little bit because I love everybody's stuff, but I just felt like it was too much for us. So we took some of it, and then we've decided to use the website a little bit more. The training in the website, and we want our coaches to really navigate around the website. So we're going back to kind of a little bit of the old-fashioned. We're going to use the Business Quick Start and the Business Activity Tracker, and we're going to use it. I'm not going to share right now, but we're going to fill out this form. So for the month of April, Andrea, you had asked me what our goals for April. My goal for my team is to see all of us go through together, so it's duplicatable. We're going to go through our new coach letter, and we're going to all fill out this business activity tracker. It's for the week, and it's pretty cool because at the end of the week you can actually see what you achieved at the end of the week. How many new contacts, how many new customers, how many new coaches, what your Success Club points were earned, and also your commissions at the end of the week. But it has all the things that we all talk about all the time, so you can check them off each day. So we're going to try this. And the other thing we're going to do is we're just really going to focus on the Power Hour. So my goal is to have everybody in my group sign into a Power Hour 5 days a week. And if they do that, I think they are going to do great. I know it. So it's like that Power Hour for those people that are they want to quit their jobs, or they want to get out of their home lives, and they want all these changes, and I want it for them too. It's not going to happen unless they change something, and simply I don't want them to be overwhelmed. I think it's the Power Hour. I think it's, starting there and just adding some context. But for some reason, the people I don't know how many of you have done the Power Hour, But when you do it, you focus. So you get in there and focus. And then next day you look and you go, wow, I messaged that person. I did that. It makes you do things that you might not do on your own. So I'm hoping that we can get more people scheduling our power hours, because I looked at it. We only have a 6 o'clock. We have a 2, maybe get a couple at night, and really make it a more of a team effort. I know we're going to do it in our team, but I would love to see the whole Boom fam really. I think we need to all get in there a little bit more.
Yeah, and I can
explain what a power hour is, because there's a lot of new coaches on.
Oh, okay. What I did is, and I'm not going to share again. I had a little trouble sharing today, technical difficulties. But up on our desktop, we have a power hour task. And what you're doing is you are finding people. So you're searching for 10 minutes. So somebody runs the power hour. Let's just say, I think a lot of people I think it's great if you can do it before work. So that no matter what happens in your life, I was talking to 2 of my coaches today, and both of them are going to do one at 5 and hopefully another one at 6. The day gets in the way, and then all of a sudden you didn't do your invites and everything. So the power hour is you're finding people that you already have on Facebook, and you're just writing down some names for 10 minutes. And then after that, you invite them, and you message, and you're really just trying to reconnect with people. People that you might have not have thought of, and you do that for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, the person who's running the power hour will just say 10 minutes. And the next thing you're going to do is follow up with messages that you had done from the day before. You'll scroll down to the bottom of your Facebook. This is all on Facebook, because right now what I'm also simplifying and just telling my coaches, let's just get 200, 300 more friends on your Facebook. I ask them how many they have. Let's just start connecting with more people, that way. So that's kind of what your goal is. And then you're going to, for 10 minutes, you're going to respond to messages. And then that task 5, which is really crucial, is adding new people and your messaging. So you're doing that every day by being in this power hour. You're adding new people to your Facebook, which is also great, because in the beginning you think you're like, you have this certain people you're connecting with, old friends. But what I was just telling a new coach of mine is that you're going to find that you're going to start connecting and reaching out to other people that you want to run your business with. And things are going to change through the year. The people you invited in the beginning to the people that you invite later on, it's all going to change as you grow your business, and you change as, you're finding your tribe pretty much. And then you do a little bit about your interest groups, which I won't go into, but that's another thing that's a great way to, Amy's a pro at that one, get groups of people so that you can follow them, and they can also see your posts more often, people that you would like to relate to. Happy birthdays for a couple minutes, and then other things that you should do daily is in there. But so the idea of the power hour, in that time frame, you can just get your work like a nice chunk. If you only have an hour a day, I would do a power hour, and then find your posts, do that later. But I really feel like this could really help all of us. We've talked about it, but I think we need to stick with it. I think we need to stick with the power hours, and that's our goal for April. I want to see more of my coaches that I truly believe in hit Success Club, because I know if they do and they run a great challenge, they're going to start adding their coaches, and that's the whole goal. Or not adding coaches, but hopefully those people that have a great challenge will want to coach. So it's really back to basics again. Doing your 3 vitals, and taking the time to really open up a store. If you don't, if you're running these businesses and you're just doing a little bit here and there, then is it really a business? I mean, are you really running a business? So if you do a power hour, you're opening your doors for it. It's a good solid hour. You're putting in some good time. You'll get better at it as you do it. So that's our plan. We're excited. We'll see what happens.
That's awesome. I love that, what you said about the 3, if you're missing one of the 3, that, if you're working out and you're doing personal development, but then you're not inviting, there's like a hole. You have to
Yeah.
ask yourself, if you're doing the invites and you're working out, but you're not doing your personal development, then there's still a hole. So you have to really do the 3. I think that's really important. And so for those that are new and don't know much about Power Hours, I will post in the Boom fam. We have a Google Doc with a Zoom link that's just like this, and you just get on and you just basically listen to music, and you are all doing the task. You want to hold that up, Terry? Just one more, that thing you printed off. We have a picture of like exactly what you're doing, and it's, we time it. So find new people for 10 minutes, invite, message, comment, like for 10 minutes. And it really does actually get you outside your comfort zone. People that might not really do these things, like on there is number 1 is find people. Like, how often do you get on Facebook and just scroll through the news feed? So this is actually making you like find people, invite, do your follow-ups. And Power Hours is how I left my job. It's how I left corporate. I only had an hour a day, and that could either like, this is totally, I agree with you, going back to the basics. So I'll post the list. If you guys want to host a Google Power Hour, you can do that, and we'll have that set. So thanks, Terry. That was awesome. Yep. Okay, so let's have next up is Trip. He is a diamond coach, and he was going to share with us.
Hey, thanks. My name's Trip. I've been a coach for about a year and a half. Sorry, I was skimming through faces. Am I the only one that I get on these calls and I go through all the pages and look who's on these calls? But I do it every time. But it's funny because I think there's a direct correlation between the faces I see every week and the people that you see at the top of the recognition every week. It's the same faces. So I know some people just can't get on these calls because of work or whatever else. But if you're watching this recording, or if you know somebody on your team that's not getting on these calls and can, I think you need to make it a point that they get on these calls, because like I said, the faces I see on these calls every week are the same faces you see the top of the leaderboards on our team every week, which is pretty cool. So anyway, one thing I want to talk about is, like I said, I've been a coach for about a year and a half, but my first couple months as a coach, I didn't really plug into the team. And so I had a new coach that I signed up about the same time. And so we were kind of like trying to reinvent the wheel and come up with all these ideas of how we were going to run our businesses and build our businesses. And Team Boom has so much of that already mapped out for us in the files tabs, in these calls and things like that. So the biggest thing is, don't get caught up as a newer coach trying to reinvent the wheel. But at the same time, make mistakes, because one of the best things I did in those first few months was make a bunch of mistakes and then learn from those mistakes and not repeat those. And I think that if I came into this business where it was do this, do that, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I did having the freedom to try new things, or, to try different free groups, to try different sneak peeks, different things like that. I think are important to incorporate into it. And so one of the mistakes that I think I've made over the last year was I think it's important, like Terry was talking about, to be duplicatable for your new coaches. So have a business model that they can duplicate, but also make sure that they still feel that freedom to do new things or to try other things with other coaches as well. Because something I've really seen on my team lately is the coaches are starting to connect, and they're starting to run these free groups and do some of these things that I kind of started to get away from. But they're getting exciting and they're having a lot of success. And I think that's because I was finding coaches and making them too dependent on me for a while. And so one of the biggest things I've learned is let them kind of do what they want to do and make these mistakes. Not necessarily mistakes, but if they make mistakes, that's okay. That's part of this business. You keep moving forward through those mistakes. So one of the books that really helped me with that was Failing Forward, because it is frustrating as a newer coach. Maybe you were talking to someone and you thought, well, I just said the wrong thing to them and now they're not going to buy a challenge pack, or everybody's saying no to me. And there's so many things that make coaches quit in those first few months. And if you can get over that and learn from, every one of those mistakes or those things that happen to you, it helps you grow so much in this business. So I just really wanted to kind of share that, my team is really starting to grow lately, and I'm really proud of the things they're doing. But it's because they're not dependent on me. Like, they're doing things I'm surprised. Like, I didn't even know you guys were starting that group or doing this or that, and it's so cool. But it's because I think they have that sense of freedom that this is your business at the end of the day. So if you want to try new things, take bits and pieces from other coaches and make it work for you the way, it works, that's going to work best for your business. And so that's just what I wanted to kind of talk about, because that's something I think I've really messed up with my first year as a coach. Was every new coach I signed up, I would make them so dependent on me that they would have to message me or come to me for everything, where really you have to, give them that freedom to go out, and if they make a mistake, they make a mistake, but they keep moving forward. You don't make Success Club that month. It's not the end of the world. You move forward, you get through that, and you learn from that and say, what can kind of reverse engineer it and say, what can I do differently this month so I don't do that again the next month.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Failing Forward is the book he was talking about. So what do you feel like you sort of let like, I know sometimes as leaders, you're trying to like get everybody to do a certain thing. What do you feel like you sort of like backed away with so that they could sort of take the lead?
A lot of it, so when I would have a new coach, I would say, this is when I'm starting my next challenge group. Invite your people to this challenge group. We'll kind of run it together. But then I think it kind of established that this is the only time we can run those challenge groups, is when Tripp says he's going to run that one. And so once they realize, hey, we can do our own challenge groups, or if somebody's ready to start the challenge tomorrow, then I'll help them start tomorrow. Like, you don't have to have these cookie cutter businesses where everybody's doing the exact same thing. And that's one thing that I kind of learned as I went my first year was, if this didn't work for me, then I would see something another coach was doing, and I'd say, well, let me try that. And so it was taking bits and pieces of what other coaches were doing to build something that worked for me.
Awesome. I can see Terry nodding her head, because she was just like what she was saying about how, it goes back to when you're a coach, even when you're first challenger, you're now a leader. So, don't wait for your coach to tell you to do something. If you feel like you want to text that challenger, or you want to start on this date, just do it. You might fail, but you'll just learn from it. So that's a good book to recommend. Thanks, Tripp. I like that. Okay, so next is Jillian.
Hey. Hi, everybody. I'm Jillian. I have been coaching for almost a year. April 21st is going to make my year date with Team Boom. The first thing I want to say is that you should start talking to everybody immediately, especially getting to know people that you don't know or that you haven't reached out to in a while. Because when I first started, I had a really, really awesome warm market. I was able to get to Ruby really quickly, just off my warm market, just signing coaches that I knew from high school, from family, or whatnot. And after I got to Ruby, I found that I had infiltrated my warm market and I didn't have anywhere to go from there. So I got really discouraged, and I ended up falling off for a good 5 months until I woke up and decided to come back and kill it. Luckily, none of my coaches had quit, so I was able to rebuild really quickly and get to Diamond. But definitely just start talking to everybody you know, and don't be scared to invite. I still get the butterflies sometimes when I open a message to somebody that maybe makes me nervous or intimidates me, but I stop myself, take a deep breath, and just invite anyway, because what's the worst? They're going to say no, and you just, get to be like, okay, well, thanks anyway. Or you can, try to move further in the conversation and find out why they're saying no. And I'm getting braver in that area too, rather than just being taking no for an answer. I'll kind of push further and find out what it is that's stopping them and see if I can help them get out of their own way. But you have to make a decision to do this. It's not easy to get up and to spend an hour every morning before my kids wake up doing this. It's not something that I want to do. I would way rather lay in my bed for that extra time, but I want to give up things that I want now for what I want the most in the future. And that's financial freedom. That's the ability to sleep in if I want to and to not have to get up every single morning and do this. Travel time, just basically to be free. And this business can give you that in every facet of your life if you let it, but you really have to work for it. For like April, for me, I'm a diamond now, and that's cool, that's great, but now I want to start developing people that are underneath me. I want to start developing my coaches and coaches that are in my downline. I want to help them too, because as you'll learn, volume is volume, and just work with everyone. So, and they don't even have to be in your downline, just like always be willing to reach out and help. But my big goals for April, I set like 3 big goals, and then I kind of like broke it down like in like a monthly plan of how I'm going to achieve those in April. So I've been focusing a lot on the leadership ladder, and I want to move up to team leader. So my week lag volume, I want to get that to 5,000 in April. That's like, it's kind of a big, hairy, scary goal, but I really think I can do it if I continue with my consistency like I have been. I want to help 10 new people in April, which would be a Success Club record for me because I've only been to 14. So that would be really cool for me. And I want to sign 6 new leaders. And I think that I can do that with some challengers that I have right now and with some people that I've been talking to. So those are my big, hairy, scary goals. And then what I did to like kind of tackle them and break it down and make it more simple, because I think that another thing that I really struggle with personally is trying to take on too much at one time and not really being able to hone in and focus on the smaller things. I just get overwhelmed. So I set my challenge groups up. I have one starting on April 4th, and I have one starting on April 18th. I have my free groups laid out. I have a clean eating group that's going to happen. I have a 7-day boot camp, and I have a coaching sneak peek, which I've never done. This is going to be my first one. So I'm probably going to reach out to my success partner, Donnie Imes. Hey, Donnie, if you're on here, I guess you'll find this out now. I was going to reach out to you and see if you wanted to do one with me as well, because I think it's always better when you have a couple of people when you're first getting into them to first like play ideas off each other, but also to have more like action going on in the group to make it like more engaging for the people that you're throwing in there. And then like I kind of broke down like what I want to do for my coaches weekly to stay in touch with them and to motivate them and to help them grow. But one thing I want to say about my coaches and just in general that I learned on the cruise, it was like one of my biggest takeaways, and it just kind of is stuck in my head because I think that I was doing the opposite of this. I was focusing like 80% on my coaches and working with them and like 20% on my business. So that should be reversed, and I should be focusing 80% on my business and 20% on my coaches. So I still like want to, focus on them and help them, but I also like need to remember that not every single person that you recruit is going to work out, and you can't force that. And so I should be like stacking my legs, to keep myself where I'm at and to continue growing and find those, gold ships and those new leaders. So I am working on letting go of the micromanagement and just going into manager mode and just trying to be like entrepreneur, mode. So, and then power hours and seed sowing. That's like a huge thing of mine. I've kind of just been like hitting Success Club barely for the last few months. And I'm not saying I'm disappointed with myself, because I'm not disappointed. I'm happy that I'm hitting Success Club and I'm helping people, but I know that I can do better. So my focus is just to step up my inviting process, to be better with Instagram, and to communicate more with the people on Instagram that I have right now that do follow me consistently. Like if you watch, you notice the same people liking your stuff over and over and over. So now it's time to like really engage them. They see me, they know I'm consistent. I've been doing this for a while now. Even though I fell off for a little bit, I came back strong. So, I feel like I've gained that trust back. And it's really time to start like going in hard and like talking to people and just like showing everybody how amazing this is and being confident about it. Because if you're not confident about it, nobody's going to, trust you. So, and then just other things like get a success partner for sure. I have a few success partners, and they're what keep me going. They're what keep me in the business. Get to live events. That's huge, because the stuff that happens at live events is like, you can't You can't get that anywhere else. I randomly, Reve and myself walked up on Pat and Amy and a couple other people having a conversation with Lindsay Matway, and it was like a good hour. And then we walked up and we're like there for like 45 minutes. And like the things that she was saying and the things I was able to pick up from her just in those few minutes was like amazing. So get to live events. I don't care what it takes. I signed up in April of last year and I made it to Summit in July. Like, people will start dropping like flies. Spots and rooms will open up. Get on the wait list. Like, it's totally worth the money you'll spend to get there and to get that fire about the business. Don't think, just do. Like, I mean, obviously don't post anything crazy or offensive or whatever, but just, it's better to do it and then like to like overthink it and second guess yourself and be like insecure about it. Just like go for it. Be who you are, because that's what's going to attract your tribe. Done is better than perfect. That's a big one for me because I like everything to be really pretty and organized and perfect. And in this business, that's just not possible because we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Use the tools that you have and trust them and know that they work, because obviously we have a great and very successful team. Lots of big leaders on our team. And then discipline your disappointment. That's a Jim Rohn thing. I listen to him a lot. He's amazing. If you've never listened to him, it's JIMROHN. He will really like teach you a lot about yourself and what you need to know about network marketing and how to run a successful business. But you're going to get told no a lot. It's going to be discouraging, but you just have to like keep going and keep getting told no, because those people are going to watch you now. You planted a seed and you just have to trust that like you're sowing good seeds and they're eventually going to land on really fertile ground and grow. So yeah, I think that's like all my stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're like on fire.
Oh, thanks.
I wrote down like tons of that stuff. And I've noticed that you've been hosting live power hours at 6 a.m. Has that made a big difference for your business?
Yeah, that's kind of how like I really started like getting back into like a routine and like committing to my fitness again, because I was waking myself up. I was getting back into a routine. My goal is eventually to get up at 5 a.m. and be a part of the 5 a.m. club and have like fitness and everything done before I wake the kids up. But we're taking baby steps. You know, I'm trying to not do everything at once and just be okay with the little things first.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I like how you said that, you know, you don't have to be perfect to get this rolling, because if you just wait and wait and wait until something's perfect, then you're just going to miss opportunities. You have to just mess up and, like Trip said, fail forward. So, and then you said about the 80% business, your own business, and 20% your coach's business is really important, because you can't force feed this to people. They have to want it themselves, and they're going to follow you as a leader. And that's by doing your business first, 80%. So that was awesome. Cool. Okay. So we have Caroline next because she has to jump off. She's a guest speaker on another.
Hello. I'll keep it really short and sweet. To back off of what Jillian was saying, I do daily power hours every morning with Sarah Olinsky, who is not in my downline. I'm not in her downline, which is nice. Like I've become really good friends with Sarah, and it's really like I can't snooze on someone who's expecting me to send them a Zoom link every single morning. So that really has helped me a lot. I get up, I do my workout, then I get on the Zoom call with her, and I get a lot done. I work full time. I'm sure many of you work full time as well. And so I know I have to get this stuff done, or I don't have time most of the day. So it really makes me get a lot done in that hour. I write my to-do list the night before. So that when I get on my computer, it's already there. I'm ready. I eat that frog. I have invites at the top, because that's the thing I don't want to deal with until I really am into it. So just things like that. But just know that we all struggle. I've been really struggling in my personal life the last 2 weeks, and I've literally had headphones in at work all day long with personal development. But it's hard when there's a lot going on in your personal life. And it's hard to not let it affect the business. So I've literally been probably doing 8 to 10 hours of personal development daily, because the only way that I can't let that other stuff affect my business. But just know that we all struggle. And I'm really excited for April. My April goals, I guess we're sharing those, are Success Club 15, which is always my monthly goal, and to enroll 15 business builders many of which will be people who got challenge packs this month, and to help 30 coaches in my downline hit Success Club. We're at 20 this month so far, so I'm excited.
Awesome. That is awesome. And I love how you say, because I hear all the time that people don't have time to do personal development, but it's not something that you have to sit down and read a book. Like Caroline is working and she listens to it on her her phone, headphones. If I'm unloading the dishwasher, I'll put on a personal development. And I mean, it doesn't matter if my kids are in the background because that's awesome for them to hear too. You know, this is like awesome stuff. A lot of us do audio. Tons. What is your favorite one that you do?
Me?
Yeah.
You Are a Badass recently. And then also the 10X rule. That's a good point. Make your goals like really big and everything you're doing really big. I said in January that I wanted to have an amazing year, and I set myself up really well in January. And I set like crazy goals that other people were like, there's no way you can do that. So even if you don't hit it, you're going to get much farther than if you just say, oh, I just want to hit Successful 5 by the 30th. But 10X rule, You Are a Badass, Failing Forward, as Tripp said. I think that was a Push to Diamond book or maybe 2 years ago. When did Tripp sign up? 2015? No, 2014. We're around when Tripp signed up. It was like a book in all the groups. And Failing Forward's a really good book. So, Compound Effect. I have so many. I get through books so fast because I literally listen to them all day long. There's so many negative things in your life in this business that can easily get you down. And it's just so important.
Yeah, and you'll hear that like every person on that top, like the Success Club and leaders on this, the number one thing that people say to do is your personal development. Because if you're letting any like fear hold you back, or let's say you're unorganized, like Eat That Frog is an amazing book that helps you like eat the biggest things first, which is invites, right, Caroline? Because like that's how I got it, was from Eat That Frog, listening to that book. I was like, oh, I hate doing my invites. I have to do that first. So if you're struggling with personal development, with anything, you need to use your personal development towards what you personally are struggling with, not just what your coach tells you to read. Like if you're struggling with confidence, then go towards You Are a Badass. If you're struggling with time management, Eat That Frog. If you're struggling with failing or hearing no, then go with Failing Forward, like Tripp said. So do
one more thing I wanted to add is that put your blinders on. It's really hard if you're a newer coach to try to compare yourself. Like I've been a coach for over 2 years, and I've gotten several messages from coaches that I've talked to, and they've been like, well, I've only been a coach for like 5 weeks, and I can't believe you have so many points. You really got to just put your blinders on and realize this isn't like a competition or whatever. I've just been doing it longer, and I've been consistent longer. And honestly, I wasn't consistent for my first 8 months. So everyone who's started after me is going to blow past me. So just know that it's not a competition. You'll get there way much faster if you just stay consistent.
Exactly. Totally, I agree. Blinders. Because people have been following you, you've been consistent, and that just takes time for other people to build up. Cool. All right, I love all of those. Thank you. So we have time for one more, Marie Sardelli, and then if I missed you tonight, we'll have you on the next call. Are you on, Marie? She didn't even get up. There you are.
Usually, no, I was doing. Here I am. No, and usually I'm really prepared for this kind of stuff. So
we have like 5 minutes, and then we'll do calls.
Okay, that's perfect then.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I mean, one of the things that we're doing in our group right now that I really find that helps us stay consistent is we're doing a lot of power hours, like Terry talked about in the beginning. I have a lot of coaches that my niche is moms, busy working moms, and a lot of people that get really overwhelmed in the beginning by, there's so much stuff that we offer, to all new coaches to learn, and so much stuff that they get really overwhelmed. So basically some of the stuff that's been working for us is we've really, broken it down into smaller pieces and have been really focusing on those power hours and helping the coaches a lot of my coaches come up with schedules, and I feel like I have to, be the queen of scheduling, because like right now, I mean, if I didn't have a schedule or a plan, there's no way that I would be able to do any of this. Like right now I'm home with my 2-year-old, well, he's 3, he just turned 3, and my daughter, who's 5 because it's spring break. And seriously, like there's no way that I could do it if I didn't have a plan, being organized, writing the my to-do list out the night before, like Caroline just mentioned, knowing that I'm going to have to eat that frog, like Andrea said, doing my invites first and coming up with good quality posts on my timeline. I mean, my wall, instead of just putting something out there. I can tell that this week I've been throwing just a lot of random like crap out there, and like my business has really suffered. I mean, like it's not normally what I do, because I'm just trying to, I guess it's that survival mode that we get into. And I'm in survival mode right now. So that's not always good. So just really having that plan and, being organized and knowing that, and I tell my coaches this all the time, because a lot of them say, well, you're just really good at it. Or, you hit, Success Club, 10, or you're just really good at it. It's not that I'm good at it. I just feel like it's often a numbers game. I'll invite 20 to 30 people a day consistently. And, that would be like 150 something people a week. And about 10 of them respond to me, and 9 of them tell me no, and then one of them says they're going to buy a challenge pack on Friday and then doesn't. So you have to be strong enough mentally to deal with those objections. And also, by reading that personal development. And then one of the things that I've learned from being on all these calls is, all those people that say no, don't get discouraged, because by being consistent with your posting and sharing your weight loss journey, it's going to come full circle. And I think the most exciting thing in this business that was hard for me to believe in the beginning is when Pat told me, people will start coming to you, and just when you think like nothing's going to happen, you'll have people that said no, which means no, not right now, will say, hey, I'm really interested in joining that Summer Strong challenge that you have going on. And having that consistency, posting on your wall, reaching out to people, and just sharing your journey, people are going to trust and believe in you, and then they're going to want to join you in that journey. So, my biggest takeaway from all of this is focus on those 3 vital behaviors, simplify it, and do what works for you. So, and have a plan of action. Don't be in survival mode, because I would never be able to have gotten this far if I ran my business like it's been going the past 3 days. Granted, I did sign, up 2 or 3 coaches today, but it wasn't because of the work I put in today. It was because of what I did a couple of weeks ago. Well, a couple months ago.
I'm hearing a lot of 3 vital behaviors, plan of action, and power hours.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 things.
Definitely.
All right, Sarah Marshall. She's still on? Oh, nope, she got off. All right, well, Jill, tell her to get back on.
I know, I just said she's prepared.
Oh, okay. All right, well, she will share with Nicoletta. Are you still on? Do you want to share?
Sure. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I seriously love your board.
Oh, thank you. The board. I think I did see Sarah's face on here though before, so if she is on and her team and something, I'll be happy to stop if you want to mute yourself. If you're on, just knock yourself out, Sarah. All right, so anything I have to say pretty much piggybacks on what everyone else had to say regarding vital behaviors and kind of figuring out what works for you. So in particular, the last couple of weeks, I'm really kind of just taking a look at my life, my organization, my coaches, my challengers and everything. And I find myself kind of going through series. I've been a coach for about a year and a half. And I'll either be in this really crazy mode where I'm just like on it like 24 hours a day, or I'm just like neglecting it because I'm kind of burnt out. And I think we all kind of go through phases like that as we're meandering the waters, trying to figure out how to do this for ourselves, even though, we do have all these awesome resources, so falling into some of the same traps even Trip was talking about, trying to like reinvent the wheel in the beginning a lot on my own. So with that being said, the title of my portion of the show here is Burnout versus Balance. So I've been really trying to focus on balance. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I have family, all these different things just like everybody else does. And it's really important to, kind of figure out what's going to work for you and how it's going to work for you and how you can do it. So, I've been really kind of taking a hard look at my personal development and obviously trying to apply any personal development that you're doing. So some people might, listen to these podcasts or read these books and just kind of like, oh, I read it. I read that. Okay, cool. Like you read that, but are you applying any of it? Was it even relevant to something you needed to fix or do or change? So, like Annie was talking about, sometimes you need help with confidence. Sometimes you need help with leadership. Sometimes you need help with time management. So for me in particular, my biggest struggle is most certainly always been, I guess, time management. And I've realized that it's kind of that deficit has ruled a lot of different areas of my life. Time and balance with my family, my husband, my business. I kind of just really put my all into everything, and that's great. But, you have all these different hats to wear as a grown adult and adulting. So you really got to kind of figure it out. I too, like Jillian, have been really trying to get into the 5 a.m. club, 6 a.m. club. I realize, there are people who work full-time jobs, who travel. I speak to people who work graveyard. I speak to people who, travel for a few days, then they're home for a few days. They're stay-at-home moms. So everybody has their own thing, and nobody's is harder than another person's. It's all equally as hard. You can't compare yourself. You have to figure out what's going to work for you. So just because maybe now doing 6 a.m. power hours is great for me doesn't mean that's what's great for you. With that being said, I have definitely listened for quite a long time now, and any top leader I've ever listened to, whether it's on our team or in the Beachbody world, has kind of always said something about the morning. I'm not a morning person by any stretch of the imagination. I have never been. That's just not my thing. And then, of course, our fearless leader, Pat, has talked about the miracle morning. I'm sure you guys have kind of heard him talk about it a few times. And so, I'm like, all right, it's supposed to help with kind of getting up and doing your day different. And so let me just add this book to my list of PD books I need to read. And then it kind of hit me I need the miracle morning now. I need to change stuff now. So literally I Googled what I call the Cliff Notes version of it. And I found the 6-minute morning miracle. So I was like, hell, well, I could do 6 minutes. I can't read the book right now. And I can't blah, 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 but maybe I can. So I found the 6-minute version of it, and I think I posted it in the Boom Fam group one day. But anyway, so literally I use the 30-30 app. I don't know if you guys can see this well or not on my phone. This thing here, the 30-30 app. And I literally put the 6-minute morning miracle in there. Miracle morning, and literally it's 6 minutes. So imagine waking up with a completely different perspective. Imagine actually wanting to get out of bed. Again, for someone who's not a morning person, who had every detention, referral, whatever, my mom, my family, just late to everything all the time, that's kind of was always my thing. It wasn't like waking up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And, now I have a 4-year-old and I'm seeing, oh, well, we're late to things with him. And I'm like, I don't want to live this life. I don't want to be the late mom. I don't want to pass this on to him. I want to wake up ready to go. So anyways, with that being said, 6 minutes. The first minute is sitting in silent meditation. So just kind of really paying attention to your breath is what I've been doing. Then the second minute is affirmations. So literally I took the time, and that's what I posted in the group, kind of like a worksheet to help guide you through this. It's just a 1-page thing, but in my planner, I have my affirmations. So by affirmations, I mean you literally have a sentence about your potential, your priorities, what's important to you, what you're capable of, that you can do it, your confidence, what you're committed to, and what your purpose is. So it's essentially 8 sentences. So for the next minute, I kind of read these sentences that I made about myself. I tried to apply this to myself. The next minute is visualization. So you kind of visualize what a happy or peaceful day would look like to you. So for example, mine says, my perfect day will look present and feel happy for my son, marriage, and business. It is all joyful. I want to be present, so whatever I'm doing, whether it's my business, my coaches, my challengers, my challenge groups, heaven forbid time for myself. I mean, what's that? As I'm of a young child, I don't know, but it's something that, I know I need to thrive. The fourth thing is scribing. So you literally write down 3 things. And you can get like a spiral notebook if you want, or however you want to do it. I happen to use the Day Designer Planner. So the top 3 like sections that are like a check off there. So I write every morning what I'm grateful for, what I'm proud of, and what I'm committed to creating for that day. So I just kind of like literally write that down. Again, I'm not writing a paragraph. It's just 1 minute. It's, half a sentence. Then the next minute is reading. So here's the ironic part. So a minute of reading, you're thinking like, what the heck is that going to do? Well, you know what I'm reading in that minute? I'm taking like a long time to actually get through the real Morning Miracle book. So for a minute, while I'm doing the 6-minute Morning Miracle, I'm reading the Morning Miracle, or Miracle. Sorry, it's called Miracle Morning, not Morning Miracle. I keep getting it confused. But anyway, so I'm reading it. And I find now, like I've been doing this for a couple weeks, I find like, oh, I want to read more. What if I could wake up even a little earlier so I can read for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. And then the 6th thing is exercise. So it says a minute. And ideally, as Beachbody coaches, we would go and start our workout or whatnot. But I literally will, in my pajamas, do like jumping jacks and high knees, and to like get my blood flowing. And then I've been hopping on, a power hour and starting to host power hours. And I too, want to kind of make that a little earlier. But that's something I'm doing by myself. So this is what that 30/30 app looks like. I don't know if you guys can see it. So I've set it all in there, and every morning it just kind of like takes me through it. So that's been, super helpful with the mindset, and super helpful. I can't recommend it enough to anyone and everyone, especially anyone who's ever said anything about not being a morning person. And I really look forward to, kind of continuing on with this and seeing where it's going to take me in a lot of different areas of life. With that being said, the other, thing I have in this app, the 30/30 app, like we talked about getting on those live power hours, they're a game changer. They weren't, we weren't doing this kind of thing, or I wasn't doing this kind of thing when I started coaching. And that was my biggest problem. Like, okay, great. I have all these tools. I've done all this training, but what do I do? Like, can someone do it with me? And that's the thing, when you're getting on these live power hours, yeah, someone could do it with you. Like, so it's not necessarily an area where you're like asking questions and stuff. Everyone just gets on to work. So it's kind of cool to know, like, oh, other people are doing that too. And, again, having that accountability, even if it's one other person hopping on there, whatever time of day works for you, is super convenient. So if you're getting on a power hour where someone's not calling off tasks, like when I do my power hours and I post I'm starting to post them into the team document they were talking about before, I will go ahead and call out tasks. And I also have that though, put in here into that 30/30 app. So on the days that I'm just sitting there by myself, I'll sit there, and for an hour, I'll have that Zoom link on in case somebody happens to pop on, 20 minutes before it was supposed to be over or something like that. Or sometimes I'll do it, obviously on my own, but it's nice to have that timer kind of calling everything out. So getting back to basics, that has helped me to get back to basics with my workouts, get back to basics with getting out of my comfort zones, doing all those invitings. So I guess I can't say enough about the Morning Miracle, getting organized, using a timer to be your friend, whether that's via an app, an egg timer, like whatever you got to do, and having your to-do lists and writing them out. And that kind of thing, I guess, kind of in PD, and actually applying your PD, not just saying like, oh, I read this. Like, I've seen a lot of people do that. So hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, that was awesome. If you could post the Miracle Morning, that Cliff Notes
thing. The 6-minute one, yeah. Game changer.
Yeah. Post
6 minutes.
Fam. We'll get that for you guys. And then, as you know, so thanks for sharing. That was awesome. So you guys, like, obviously you're hearing a lot about these power hours. So we will post the link if you want to jump on a power hour, if you want to host a power hour. Again, you're just getting on with other people and you're sort of silent and you're just doing the work with them. So it's really helpful. And that was awesome. I took so many notes from everybody. So thank you guys for sharing. We're going to have next week, we're going to have more Diamond share. So hopefully you guys took a lot away from this, especially that you need to be doing the 3 vitals. If you're missing one, there's a hole in the circle of links, and then the power hours. So cool. All right. So if you're new, we end the call with a boom. So we unmute. Yeah.
Let's not forget Saturday and Sunday, Super Saturday, Super Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Super, super, super important.
If you don't know a location, go to your back office, news and training, events, left-hand column, Super Saturday, click on that. There's an interactive map. You can find a location and your times. and you usually have to sign up and register ahead of time, so make sure you get that done ASAP. Some of them do sell out in the larger cities.
Yeah, that's how I met Joe like 6 years ago at a Super Saturday. And again, like you could go and not, I mean, we didn't even know Joe. We just met him at the Super Saturday, and here we are.
Slow down, Landon.
Later. So they're so important to get to. They're usually like 2 hours long. You can find them anywhere. You're going to connect. You're going to find people that you will be friends with for life there, and you can find them on Facebook. You can be success partners. They don't have to just be on your Team Boom. You're going to learn a lot. You'll get a free workout. They're really awesome. So thanks, Joe. That was really important. Cool. All right, so I'm going to unmute everyone, and then we end with a boom. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. Hold on. All right.
Mama say boom.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Boom! That's awesome.
And I shouldn't say asking, but
Good night.
if there's any final questions on anything you guys think we didn't cover, go ahead and ask.